Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Planted Cauliflower. I'm Carly, and today we're going to talk about plants that I have killed. All the plants that I have killed recently or in the past few months and how I killed them. It is true, I have killed plants. So go ahead, hit that like and subscribe. Definitely stick around and let's go over all the carnage.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my hair down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time?
Okay guys, if anyone ever tells you that they have so many plants, 300 plants, and they've never killed a plant, they're lying to your face, because everybody has killed a plant. It is absolutely something that happens, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Every death of a plant is a learning experience, whether you learn how to better take care of that plant, or you learn that that plant just may not be for you. Either way, you're learning something. So, I have killed numerous plants, probably more than I can literally remember. I know that my list is incomplete. I know I've killed more than I remember that I have, but these are the ones that jumped to my mind, so we're gonna go over these plants and how they died. I have my list here, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I killed my first Syngonium albo. In all fairness, it was pretty sick when I got it, but I was not good with Syngoniums. It was my first ever Syngonium. Yes, my first ever Syngonium. I decided to buy a $60 albo. Don't ask me why, I don't know. You think I would have started off with the little green $30 one. Nope, let's go with the elbow. And I killed it in pretty short order. I do feel, and the reason I say I killed it versus died because it came in bad condition is because I feel if I had known more and I had started off with something a little less high maintenance, not that it's a high maintenance plant, but if I had started off with something a little cheaper and what have you, it would have been a better idea than jumping into something extremely expensive, because $60 is extremely expensive for me. Right off the bat. So it came in and it had a little bit of a root rot situation, and I was too scared to unpot it and check it, even though it showed clear signs of root rot. So I made a very bad decision to not touch it and just leave it alone. I feel if I hadn't been so nervous and so scared about checking the plant, that it probably would have lived, because I would have caught the root rot a lot sooner. I would have been able to rectify the root rot and the plant would have lived. So yeah, that's why I say I killed the Syngonium albo, because had I been not so nervous and been smarter about it, I probably could have saved it. So really it's because it died because of me. I could have saved it. The next one on my list is my Emerald Ripple Peperomia. Oh, me and Peperomias have a shoddy history. I kill them in short order. The only one I've managed not to kill is my Pepperomia Frost, and that's because I basically just don't look at it, don't touch it until the leaves are like completely like, please help me, and then I water it and it bounces back and it's fine. So as long as I don't try to love it too much, it seems to be okay. But yeah, I am not good with Pepperomias. There's a couple Pepperomias on this list, unfortunately, and the Emerald Ripple, I just could not figure it out, guys. I could not. If I gave it light, it bleached the leaves to yellow and they all fell off. But if I put it in the shade, it stopped growing and eventually the leaves would start to die. I don't even know what I was doing. If I watered it more frequently, I feel like it started to rot, but if I didn't water it enough, the leaves would shrivel. I just never, unfortunately, the sad fact of the matter is this plant died before I could actually figure out what the best care was, and I tried what I feel was like very reasonable things to try and make this plant do well, and it just never seemed to actually do well. I don't know what else I could have done, but I would love to hear your Pepperomia comments and let me know what you think I could have done better with this plant. So yeah, if you have any suggestions for how I can make Pepperomias live in my care, definitely let me know. Okay, the next one on my list is, I might as well get it out of the way, is Watermelon Peperomia. I bought a Watermelon Peperomia for $18 from Hertz Garden online, and I already knew Hertz had a really bad reputation for sending their plants absolutely soaking wet, so I was anticipating a very sopping wet plant when I got it, and that is exactly what I got. This plant was rotting in the dirt. The leaves had been pressed into this really, really soaking. It wasn't even just moist, guys. When I picked up the pot, water was dripping out of it. And most of the leaves had been pushed into the dirt and had rotted in shipping, and it was just a really, really bad, sad situation. So the reason I say I killed this plant is because it didn't die from the overwatering and shipping. It did lose most of its leaves. I did have to repot it to get it out of that soaking wet soil, and it did start to bounce back. It grew 5 or 6 beautiful leaves. It was growing very regularly, and then I don't know what happened. I literally have no idea what happened. Over time, even though I had apparently saved the plant, I changed nothing in the care. It just steadily it genuinely just started to decline over time for reasons that are unknown to me. I never changed the care, like I said, and one day it was doing really well, and then the next day I noticed that pretty much all of the leaves were yellowing. There was no sign of pests. I did quarantine it to make sure, and there was no pests. I unpotted it, checked the roots. The roots seemed fine. I honestly don't know. Just over time, no matter what I did, no matter how much I tried changing up the watering schedule, tried leaving it the same, hoping it was just a bad patch and it would bounce back, eventually it all just started declining, and I started getting these new leaves in that were extremely deformed and very, very tiny. I don't really know what it was, if it had like a bacteria or a fungal that I just couldn't see. I don't know, but I did end up eventually killing that watermelon peperomia. Poor thing, may she rest in peace. The next plant on my list is my Monstera Sonia narrow-form. Oh guys, again, no idea. I bought rooted cuttings off of Amazon actually, and they came in absolutely great, in great condition with beautiful roots. They actually came in a bigger bundle than I was expecting, so I was super excited about this plant. And I put the plant in my bathroom where there was some good humidity from the shower. There was a window in there, so it was getting light, and just, it was doing really well at first. It was putting out leaves left and right, doing really well. I was watering it about once a week when the pot was light, and it was just doing really well. And then I noticed that one day a bunch of the older leaves were yellowing, and I thought, well, that's not that big of a deal. They're older leaves. They're probably just dying off, making room for new growth. They're eating the energy from those leaves, and this is what happens. So I continued on as normal, and then I noticed that the new leaves were coming in smaller and smaller, and it was getting yellower and yellower, and I unpotted it. The roots looked good, so I was like, well, don't know what's going on, but okay. And then I realized a few weeks later that this plant was just dying on me. It was dying. So I took a bunch of cuttings off of it and started to root the cuttings. The cuttings in the water were green when I put them in. They are actively rooting. They all have roots. The plant is turning yellow still. I don't know. It's just a plant that is not working out for me. I have several other Monsteras. I have a Thai Constellation. I have numerous Siltipicanas. I have a Standeliana. All of them doing well. This Monstera Sonia narrow-form, not having any of my crap. I'm telling you, it is done with me. The plant eventually did die, and now my cuttings look like they're on the way out too. I don't know. I change the water weekly or when it looks murky. I give it Super Thrive. I've given it liquid dirt. They're turning yellow and just kind of dying off on me. So this may be a plant that is just not meant to be mine. Okay, and the next and final plant on my list is a red Maranta plant. I bought this plant off of Etsy, and I had it for a very long time actually. I had it for a year, and it was doing really, really well. And then I decided, for some reason that I still don't quite understand, to repot it. It didn't need to be repotted. I wanted it in a different pot. That's all. And I disturbed it and I repotted it, and it was just sad and sad and sad after that for a long time. Finally, when I realized it probably wasn't going to bounce back from its repotting, I took a bunch of cuttings, and those cuttings very quickly just rotted, and it's gone now. It's no longer on this side of the world. It's dead. I repotted it when I probably shouldn't have. It didn't need to be repotted. There are a lot of reasons to repot a plant, but just because you don't like the pot sometimes isn't the best, I guess, because I effectively killed it by repotting it. And you know, I learned that maybe Marantas and Calatheas just don't like to be screwed with a lot, and I've been leaving them alone. I've got all of them in pond now, so they seem to be doing really well. It's the only Maranta or Calathea I've lost, and I'm okay with what happened. I learned from it, and It is what it is. But yeah, guys, that is a list of plants that I have killed and how I killed them, or at least how I think I killed them. You never know, I guess, right? But if you liked this kind of video, definitely leave me a like and a comment. Hit subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any more of my carnage videos where I talk about how horrible of a plant parent I am. And definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My link tree is down below if you're interested in following me on either of those platforms. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you get to spend lots of quality time with your plant babies today. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.